Andy Bay has a beautiful, sumptuous baritone voice, which he doesn't mind turning rough, plaintive, or soaring into an effortless falsetto if that's where the music takes him. He started young. At age 5, he was playing boogie-woogie piano in Newark's jazz joints. He was making records as a teenager, and he left Arts High his senior year to tour Europe with his singing sisters. Bay's climb stopped sometime in the 1970s, and his career went into eclipse for more than 20 years. But his 1996 comeback recording, Ballads, Blues, and Bay, ended the silence and brought stunned praise from critics and jazz aficionados. Here's Andy Bay with In a Sentimental Mood.
In a sentimental mood, I can see the stars come through my room while your loving attitude is like a flame that lights the gloom. On the wings of every kiss drifts a melody so strange and sweet. In this sentimental bliss, you make my paradise complete. Rose petals seem to fall. It's all like a dream to call you mine, to call you mine. My heart's a lighter thing since you made this night a thing divine. In a sentimental mood, I'm within a world so heavenly, for I never dreamt that you'd be loving
Welcome, Andy Bay. Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
You have such a beautiful voice. I'm curious if anyone ever tried to make you into a crooner, you know, a smoothie.
No, not really. I went through so many different stages as a kid. You know, I was like a child prodigy, an infant terrible, as they say. So I went through all kind of stages. And as I got older, and and as I started really exploring different things, listening to other singers, and just taking on, grabbing like a sponge, catching, soaking in everything, and then you find your own identity, I think, after a while.
You started so young. You were a professional as a teenager.
I was kind of a professional when I was around 8 years old, but I'll say when I was a teenager, because I started doing TV, even though it was local in some cases.
And your sisters perform with you.
Well, that was later on. We didn't start performing, me and Salome and Geraldine. We started performing maybe around the middle 50s. But we used to sing a little bit around the house, because I was always playing for them, or coming to their high school or junior high schools.
Family acts always are unique, I think, because they have they sound, all the voices sound
right,
alike.
Everybody sounds like Nat King Cole's brothers and himself. They all sounded the same way, basically. So once we started singing together, it was like a family blend, you might say.
So you had this rise, and then you kind of hit a plateau at some point. What did the times change, and
well,
jazz wasn't in anymore?
Well, the 60s, with the Beatles craze and all of that, a lot of artists were going to Europe. But we had spent some time in Europe through like 1958 through 1960, and we came home in 60. So we worked around the New York area. We played the Apollo as Annie and the Bay Sisters, and we got a recording contract with RCA Victor. And
then what, did the audiences just kind of disappear and start listening to rock and roll?
Well, we were doing all right, but I think during the time, when family and sisters get married and stuff like that, and we ran into problems with, managers, and I started branching out a little bit, and we eventually broke up in 1966.
You had this comeback CD that everyone talks about. That's what I was going to say. Do you feel like, what do you mean comeback?
Right. I was out there all the time. It's just that I wasn't really getting any offers from companies, and they saw me around. I was quite visible because I was working little places in New York doing little solo gigs or trio gigs in small clubs that weren't paying too much money, but I was out there,
You were there.
But I did a record in Yugoslavia, which was it actually wasn't a record, it was a tape that somebody just taped the set of me singing solo. And that's was the beginning of the Ballads, Blues, and Bay concept.
The comeback.
Right.
Well, I listened to the way you play, and you seem like a man who is not going to be rushed, who is going to take your own time in your own way.
But I can sing fast, and I can sing loud and strong, because I was known as a power singer, in the 60s, 70s period, And I still have that. I think it's better now because I've been able to show the other side.
Well, I know you're going to play another number for us, so I look forward to hearing it, and I thank you for coming today.
Thank you very much for having me.